Hello, and welcome to episode 16 of Snap on This. It's a Marvel Snap podcast. We talk about Marvel Snap and other shit.
Is that your ASMR voice, Lauren?
Bringing it in nice and low and
Okay,
chill.
sorry.
Bringing it in nice and low and chill. As spoiled, I am LaurenWhatevs, here with my, I'll say it, beloved co-hosts. How are you two going to deal with that? I love you. It's an even...
We love it.
I mean it, even though I'm laughing. It's an even-numbered episode, so we're going to throw it to Ben first. benjaminroller, how was your week in Snap? And keep it snappy.
Well, endeavoring to keep it snappy, but before I even begin to acknowledge my week in Snap, I would love to say that the feeling is mutual. There's just so much co-host love going on here.
Aww.
Oh my goodness. Very fond of you both. All right, my week in Snap. Let's see. Okay, so it was the end of the season. The main thing on my plate, since I wasn't really worrying about #pod goals so much this month, I was like, well, I've got to get King Eitri. And I understand that one of my co-hosts is going to be doing a slightly deeper dive on Deadpool's Diner, so I won't dilly-dally and shilly-shally too long on the topic, but dang, real unfun game mode, not a fan. It just felt like such a chore and a snore. And towards the end there, some people were donating me bubs, and I'm like, wow, I'm really impressed with the generosity of your human spirit, because once I get King Eitri, I am not looking back. You could not drag me back here with like all the minions of hell. It's just not happening. So I did not donate any bubs. I feel real bad about it. I suppose I could after this recording. Let's all pretend that after this recording, I'm going to go donate some bubs. Yeah. Yep. So
I'll tell you,
if you did that,
I have donated some, and it is laborious. It's just slow and tedious.
Yeah. I want to be a good citizen. I really do. And I applaud anyone who chose to do so. I feel like some people, when they can't like rise to fulfill like civic duties or even like civic extra credits, like a lot of people are like, well, I can't make myself do the good thing, so I'm not even thankful for the good thing. I don't even think the good thing is good. I'm questioning like value in the, anywho, no, I think it's good for people to donate bubs. And if you're doing it, keep doing it if you can. And if you can't, I'm certainly not going to judge you. Okay. Also, by the time this episode releases, I believe Deadpool's Diner will be over and done with. Thank goodness. Yeah, exactly. So I guess if you did donate bubs, I know about how tenses work and stuff. Yeah, if you donated bubs, good for you. Good for you. You're a champo. All right, so I did get Eitri. Didn't play any more Deadpool's Diner. That did give me license to just go to ladder and try to have fun and win games and like play decks and play real games of Marvel Snap where you stick around to the end instead of like retreating on turn 3, just like. Oh man, wow, what an unfun game mode. Anyway, point is, once I did get back to the ladder, this was like really just hours before season reset. I went on an absolute tear with the Heimdall deck that I shared a couple weeks ago. I was up 200 SP in like a very short period of time. I was taking like screenshots in the Alliance chat because it was just like 8-cuber after 8-cuber by my screen name, and I was like, dang, so many 8-cubers in such a short period of time, because it tells you how many minutes ago they were. And it's just like every 10 minutes I'm getting an 8-cuber. It felt great, and my rating did get up there. I did make top 1,000 for Americas, but not global this time. But
nice.
It was tons of fun. And then.
Are you going to tell us what you were using?
Yeah, it was my my Heimdall deck. I think I read it out on the podcast a couple weeks ago, but like this deck is super legit, and so you know what? It bears repeating. I'll do it. The deck was called Throwback Heimdall. It's Aranya, Ghost Spider, Iron Fist, Hydra Bob. That's right, 4/1 drops. Dagger, Angela, Craven, Silk, Vulture, Spider-Man, Heimdall, Magneto. Very, very classic style Ben Roller kind of Heimdall construction with Angela in there, even though she's like real bad right now. But like, I still like her. She's definitely the card that you throw into Gamma Lab. That and the one drops, but like you don't throw Craven into Gamma Lab because he's actually going to get big. Anywho, yeah, that's a real cool deck, and I do highly recommend it. So that was great fun. I was really having fun with that Monday night, Tuesday morning. Well, yeah, really more Tuesday morning. But then Tuesday afternoon, something happened. Some cards got added to the game. It kind of bummed me. I'm not a fan of one of these new cards that was added to the game. Really kind of decreased my enjoyment once I started playing later in the day. I'm not a fan of Galacta, but we'll get into that later.
We will.
Other than that, as far as my weekend snap, you know what I was excited about on Tuesday? The Token Tuesday. It was one of the good ones. We had a good one, the December 3rd, good Token Tuesday. I realize not everybody like pays a ton of attention to this, but I think it could help you get
there
the
are
most
no
of
variants,
card acquisition stuff.
Involved, so.
Yeah, well, if you want to get the nice beefy collection like Benjamin Roller has, you got to start eating your Token Tuesdays and your vegetables and stuff, or maybe not. Maybe nobody wants. I don't know, but point is, if the listeners want to join me on my card acquisition journey. I bought this week's Token Tuesday. I'm buying the next good one that's probably coming out on the 17th. There's probably going to be a bad one next week on the 10th, so skip that one if you want to do it the way I do it. And yeah, that's your Token Tuesday forecast. Next good one is probably on the 17th. And for the record, the good ones cost 1,500 gold and give you 1,200 collector's tokens. Now you know. That was my week. Sorry, I could have kept it snappier, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you for sharing your week with us. Next up, Ree. It's-just-rie. How was your weekend snap? And keep it snappy.
Such a loose rule. Okay. At least that's the way I treat it. Okay.
It's very loose, yes.
Yeah, we did talk a lot about Deadpool's fight, but I didn't finish it until today, and I do mean like to the Jane variant all the way to the end. And
could not pay me to do that.
Yeah, it was miserable. Like every day I dreaded entering Snap and playing the diner, and it's honestly one of those weeks where it's just like, it could have made me quick, because I was already having a bad week, and it's like, this is my escape, this is my fun. We all play games because of the way it makes us feel, and that can be different for people, whether it's relaxed or accomplished or like whatever you're getting out of it, but misery is never supposed to be the experience. And it's not like you could opt out if you're really invested in this game and you want to get King Eitri, and all of that, so it's kind of forced to play it. So when I finished it today, there was some initial nervous laughter, not happy laughter, the laughter of hysteria, someone who has been through an experience. And then I believe, when I announced in my Discords was like, it's like, the Frodo gif that's really popular. It's like, it's done. It's Elijah Wood just, suffering. It's like, that's like how it was for me. I feel like I cast Deadpool's diner into the fires of Mordor, and I lost probably my middle finger doing it. So like, it's just like, that's what it felt like. Oh, it's so miserable. And here's why. I know
it's really a chore.
Right?
Absolutely.
When you're forced to do it, it's the worst. And here's why, because it's supposed to get that feeling of excitement, like, oh, before I was getting little stakes, and now I'm getting millions and stuff. But that's not like the reality of what you feel. The reality of you feel is like, hey, if I win, I've barely advanced my track meter, because it's like so much more exponentially than the table I have to grind at for my bub maximum. So like winning feels barely good at all, because you've barely advanced. Like, listen, second dinner, listen to my experience. Fix your game. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? You're winning means you're barely advancing at all toward your goals, right? And losing is so much more crushing, because you run out of bubs and then you're done.
Then you can't play.
Right? And you can always just grind lower and lower, so you never run out of bubs. But you know what? This isn't our job. It's what we do for fun. And it's not fun. Anyway, so I did finish out, and yes, thank you to the kind souls who don't. Honestly, it was not a good week for me. I had bad pet news, I had all kinds of stuff, and like knowing that I was going to have to sign into something that was going to make me feel worse because I needed this card. And I've never, this would be the first variant you could get for free that I wouldn't have gotten. You know what I mean? Like, I've never skipped a conquest variant or anything. It's just like, I like, part of what I like about a game is how deeply I invest in it. Like, I have some kind of time-consuming achievements in FF14. I really get into my games sometimes. And it's like, let me have this. Let me have the free variant. But when I ran into people, first donating, and it was just thank you so much for reminding me that, there's, some people, what a good person you are if you, get enjoyment out of making other people happy. Because I did run into one person who was, fake donating, They had the avatar, they did the emotes. And then, when they have their gore negative combo, because probably a lot of people, that was their experience of a lot of Deadpool's Diner 2, is just facing that gore negative deck over and over and over. And, you know what I mean? And they had their combo, and I stayed in, and I shouldn't have, because I knew Gambit wasn't going to help me. Gambit. Okay. Yeah. But I did, because they were so mean when after they got me, they're just Miss Marveling me and stuff, haha. And it's I just found out my cat has cancer, you fuckhead. Sorry. It was just but it's when you're mean to strangers, you don't know what they're going through. And it's I'm stuck in this mode. And then here's this person and then Miss Mart laughing. And it's I was just reminded this week in our new Discord channels, that the cartoon Steven universe is my center of morality. So the person who did this to me, Diego, whatever letters after your name, I don't care, remember. I hope one day you get to experience what it is like to have sexual relations with another human being, so that your heart can be opened and you can no longer get joy out of trolling strangers on the internet. You know what I mean? Unless, to be inclusive, you are asexual. In the case, I hope you meet someone who also has that inclination, and you get to experience a relationship so that your life is not so sad.
How does this tie to the Steven universe? Fusion?
It's me being kind and wishing them more for their life.
Lessons.
It's a sincere wish.
I want well for them. Yeah, for real. That's what I want for them, so they can stop harassing. I mean, being mean to people.
We stand character growth.
I didn't mean to even bring up that guy.
I mean, the other side of it is getting enjoyment out of making other people miserable, and there is plenty of that, and it's sucky.
Yeah, and Second Dinner's fine with it, which is why they won't add a mute all button. They're do it every single time. Do it to everyone you meet.
Definitely fine with it.
I wish I had that in real life.
Can I offer one supporting detail about Diner?
Yes.
So last time, faithful listeners of the podcast may recall that I mentioned that it seemed important to me that I wanted to help my partner out. And I was like, I'll get you Sandy Nova. Give me that phone. And, I went through Deadpool's Diner up until the point where I got Cassandra Nova twice, but no, was not doing that this time. Nope. Didn't even start. I was like, I'm sorry. This time, I think we're a one Eitri household. I'm sorry. You don't need this one. And, to be fair, you kind of don't.
No.
So, but yeah, that's just how miserable I found it this time, as opposed to last time when I voluntarily went back into the mines. But no.
Yeah.
Not this.
Was
not
it
this
worse
time.
this time? Like,
yes.
Did they make it worse, or did I just experience it worse? Okay.
Well,
anyway,
I think
yeah,
part of it is like they already took it out of me once. There's a finite amount of Benjamin-roller.
Yeah.
All the numbers and stuff are the same. At the start of the diner, there was like, I think once you got up to Jello or something like that, there were no bots at the beginning. And then there were players waiting for like 20 minutes just to get into a match. And so they eventually added bots back in. Good choice. But otherwise, it's the same as last time. And I think that's like a good point, is they brought back the exact same mode, gave us a worse card. Although I think I don't know how much the card is like consolation, right? Like if it was a banger of a card, Diner would still be miserable. It would just be even more pressure to complete, right? Like, so they considered their first Diner a success, maybe just because everybody wanted Casinova, right? Like, and because it had novelty, and this time around, the novelty was very limited.
But now Deadpool says obnoxious stuff to you. Yeah, he didn't used to do that.
There's that. There's a couple new like tutorial screens. The plates are different. The graffiti in between the plates is different.
Some might argue the graffiti in between the plates is, if you closely analyze it, maybe a little bit. I don't know. If it's still around, or if you haven't, I don't know. They're I don't.
They're trying to make fun of themselves.
Crybabies if you don't like the spotlight system. Like I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
They're trying to make fun of themselves, but it's like a corporate-y thing, and it ends up feeling like they're making fun of us.
Kind of feels like
the
funny. Players are the.
I think it's funny, but I understand if you take it like a few levels deeper, it is just straight up making fun of players, even if that's not what they intended on the surface.
Yeah. But it's over, it's done. Like we're out of that hell now. So like,
until next time.
Opposite. Yeah, hopefully they trash it and never bring it back.
Yeah,
please.
Okay, that'd be nice.
So they are bringing Voltage back this season. Do you think Voltage. It's well? Yeah, and it's shorter and lighter, and like it's quicker to get through. It only lasts for a week instead of 2. Like, would you still like Voltage do you still like Voltage if it's the exact same thing?
I'd still like it better. Okay.
I don't expect it to be, though. Like, I guess I'm so already expectant that they're going to have, like, different rules to create a different little, like, mini meta, like, that if they don't, I will be very disappointed, to be honest.
I expect no changes, except that the missions will be more focused on getting some wins.
No!
See, that's...
Let us have fun with
when you mentioned that last week that Glenn thinks it needed to be more winning focused, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if you understand what's cool about this mode.
He doesn't listen to my podcast right now.
Yeah, I don't know if Glenn's in charge of the mode, but I don't know, obviously he obviously has influence.
Yes.
It depends. I think they could go too far and make it too dependent on winning, but I think it's good to make winning matter a little bit, or at least more than 20 volts a win.
I think they should up the amount of volts you get for winning, but I don't think they should minimize. Like, the missions should still be enough to get you there, and they should also not be requiring you to win a zillion games.
I like that take. I think I saw in the trailer, the season trailer that came out, that this time around Lasher, the new card, is at the top of the track, whereas last time it was an Iron Man variant at the top of the track. So that's a step in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
yeah.
So that's been Diner and High Voltage talk.
Yeah. So I did have kind of the opposite, and probably just because I was traumatized by Diner, but like getting Galacta and just like, yeah, she's overpowered. I get why. I just had fun. I was playing that. I finally got to play. I think I just got to play other decks. I got in this mode of like, I need to grind. Let me just play discard, which was the wrong thing to play into Gore Negative. I should have like played some Enchantress stuff or whatever, because like Gambit is just not a reliable. You're like, okay, all I have to do is kill Gore and we win. Gambit. I believe too much in people has always been my problem. Gambit fails me. Okay. So I just played, but like I just had in this mode. It's like I know snapping, retreating very well. I've played Dracula so much, and it's reasonably powerful until you run into nothing but Gore Negative, and it just sucked. I felt trapped into playing that. I wanted to play other decks. I wanted to like experiment with things, and just getting out and getting to finally play some different stuff was just so freeing and rewarding for me. And looking ahead, I challenged myself, which I haven't done with bounties so much in a while. I picked up these like legendaries that are like 1,500 points and 1,250 points to win with Spider-Man 2099 6 times, and also Iron Fist and Dagger 5 times. And you know me, I don't play move. There's too many squirrels in this world to move. So like, and also the last one is move at least 5 cards in a match twice. So it's like, like this will be so hard for me, but it'll be I couldn't resist. It was like the XP was so giant compared to the other ones, so many points, and it was gold, and it was like already picturing the Final Fantasy fanfare, like
oh yeah,
when I turn
those
legendaries
this in, are tempting.
Right? Probably just moving us up a whole track on our alliance thing or whatever. Like, here, anyway. So, like, I'm just feeling better, mostly because I'm out of the hell that my own game that should be my comfort and joy and escape put me through. That's my week.
I was thinking about what to say for my week in Snap, and I didn't even remember what might be the most important thing until you said the word misery. Because
sorry,
I finally finished my Splitsmith goal. I got a white crackle on misery. I don't know if it's better than the red crackle, but I'm going to pretend it is. It looks great. It was the 8th crackle that I got, which kind of sucked. Split number 50, which makes misery my most split card, but not my most invested card, because I split Valkyrie 43 times and have 8 ready to go. So she is barely my most invested card. If I split all my Valkyries sitting in my location or in my collection, I'd have 51. But they're waiting for character mastery, something new to pursue, because I already like my Valkyrie that I got.
Oh, you put that candy cane border on your misery. Oh, it's so good. It's like with the white crackle and because it's the red. Sorry, who's the artist for that variant again?
I don't know. That's super rare though, where she's very menacing
rare. And it's very red and white, but like very pretty, compared to the more venomy looking miseries. And it's glorious. Say, I hope you always rock the candy cane on it.
I didn't actually I haven't actually like unlocked.
Oh, were you just like viewing? Oh, you just window shopping variant borders. I do it too.
I have the red distressed unlocked, which actually looks great. But I mean, if the candy cane's that good, maybe I need to commit to the candy cane. Anyway.
No, you should never listen to me about anything.
After that, it's like I am not glad for Splitsmith to be ending. I wish it wouldn't end. But while it's running and knowing that it's going to end, I've thought, well, I need to only split deep instead of splitting wide on my cards. And I'm like running out of cards that I even can crackle. So right after misery, I did 3 more splits.
All of us don't have that much crackle, Lauren. Were you rubbing it in our faces?
No. My point is, there are very few things that I've taken up to split 5.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Anyway. You got all those Valks in the closet.
I had Sarah and Quake both there, and it just 1 split each. I got the perfect, I got purple crackle on Sarah, blue crackle on Quake. It was beautiful. And I was like, I'm going to keep this streak up. 3 in a row. I'm going to go to Adam Warlock. I got something terrible. It was like a green green sparkle or something.
You have boosters? Adam Warlock? That's
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah. Anyway, I'm completely out of resources. I put way too much on Misery. When I posted my Misery, Zombies Go Nom Nom posted on my thing. He was like, the people want to know what your favorite Misery decks are. And I was like, I don't have any.
Not even, you don't play any, what?
I do play Misery, but I do not so much that I have a favorite Misery deck. I think she's really fun in making your opponents discard cards again. I think she's really fun in Black Widow pre-nerf, and then you use Phoenix Force and you Black Widow them 3 times. It's fun when you're the one doing it.
I'll never forget you, original White Widow. Sorry, you're talking about Black Widow, but...
We still need to mention the White Widow, yeah.
Well, I think we might mention the White Widow again, honestly.
I did. This is my weekend snap. I got convinced to buy Gore. I really shouldn't have. But Den had this deck that looked super fun. It was a Hammers deck, had Gore, and it had Valkyrie, and it had Yellow Jacket, and just like, oh, there's too many of my favorite cards in here. And I had Misery. Misery is a cheap way to reproc the Hammers. So I did get that. How does Gore make you feel?
Misery.
Oh, yeah. I regret getting Gore, as I knew I would, because he's just a dumb big card, and I don't like dumb big cards. But he's good at what he does, right? He's good at doing that in the right deck. He's the biggest dumb card.
He's making everyone play negative, though.
He's just another flavor of Red Hulk or Blob or what. Like, it's just
Yeah.
compatible with a different deck type.
I hope he goes out of fashion soon, though, because I kind of love playing a ton of on reveals. That's sort of my whole
Yeah,
jam.
me too. They're the fun cards.
And like, oh my gosh, my opponent's scores get pretty big.
He's a big boy. Okay. So yeah. I was so close to hitting infinite. I'm at like 97. I was like, ooh, this is going to be my fastest infinite ever. Quick. It's going to be my first day and a half infinite. I'm going to be able to report on the podcast, but I'm not quite there because I started playing sloppy after I hit 97. I have I've ate like 3 8-cubers, and I got to 97 so fast, partially because Galacta, my goodness, we'll talk about that in just a second, and partially because I'm still playing like a robot coming off of Diner. And it's like, if things are going good, I stay in. If they're going great, I snap. If they're going bad, I retreat, which is how you should always play, but I do a lot more playing with my heart.
For sure.
Yeah.
I've got like a little knob inside that I can turn like serious or let's play with our feelings,
Exactly. And so
very often I'm playing with my feelings, even when I'm like sort of serious. I still let I still let the vibes and the whims move me a little more than they should. A lot of seeing what happens. That's another version of it.
It's more fun to gamble on something and get that dopamine hit when it pays off than just retreating because it's the smart thing to do.
I'll be like doing everything else smart, but then I just stick around because I have to see what happens.
Yep, very guilty of that. This Weekend Snap is going long this week, but I have this mental model that is not accurate, but it is very effective for me when I'm in gamer mode. This is what I used when I climbed to top 1000. This is what I use when I get my Infinity Conquests, sort of. It's more relevant for Diner and Ranked, but basically I treat it like it is a given that I am going to have a 50% win rate. I have no control over my win rate, but I can choose how much cubes my wins and losses are worth. So it's kind of like, if it's a given that I'm getting for 50% losses, then every loss that I'm sorting into a 1-cuber is a win, because that's saving me a big pile of wins later, because I'm also guaranteed a 50% win rate. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's how my brain does it.
It's too much math for me. I'm like,
I'm sorry.
What? Percent and like piles of things. That's not gut math.
Piles of things. The notorious math concept of piles. Anyway, I'm sorry. It's not something I've ever put into words before. It's just my funny little mental model where I somehow make 1 cube wins feel good, which is what they want you to do, but isn't actually happening when you're playing with your heart.
The game is supposed to feel good. I shouldn't have to do work. That's why I play games.
It's called play, not work.
Processes. Yeah, I don't have to mentally train myself to enjoy a game. No, it's your job, second dinner.
This is a great reason that a well-balanced life or whatever. I don't know. You should probably have more than one game you play. That's what I think.
I do.
I think for like the good of your mental health and also just like a full and diverse enjoyment of the stuff your brain can do. I think it's good to play multiple games. That's my feeling.
That's true. Yeah. Don't know that I'm into a game right now, but yeah. I tend to be like, ooh, one game catches my attention really intensely for a little bit, and then it's gone.
Well, I noticed that Glazer
if you're not playing other games, you should feel bad about your life.
Well, no, I just think that, like, for instance, Glazer recommended Metaphor Refantasio in our Discord, and I
want to play that so hard.
I haven't played it yet personally, but I did watch it played in my living room all the way through. There's a PS5, but it's on the communal TV, so I'm hesitant to start a file of Metaphor. But like having watched most of the game, I can say, wow, the P Studio, the Persona folks at Atlas, they have outdone themselves with this one. It's an absolute banger. Very cool game. Highly recommend. I usually like whatever they do, but like usually there's something kind of fraud about it, or I usually have some sort of like qualification to my recommendation of their games, but like this one is very good and not questionable. So yeah, go play it.
Oh no! I was so sad I was going to get Dragon Age, and now like I don't. Now it's like
yeah, but that one's supposed to be like profoundly mid.
But I have allegiance to the series. You know,
I thought I heard good things about the writing. Maybe did I hear terrible things?
Feel happy?
It's the game, it's the game space. So take all.
Yeah, right. I know I heard something about the writing, but I don't remember if it was good or bad.
I don't listen anymore, honestly, for the most part. Unless friend, I just play games I want to play. I don't trust
it's only stuff that I accidentally hear about. I definitely used to follow games way closer than I do nowadays. Okay, let's move on. Yeah. We didn't talk about Eitri last week, so we're going to talk about him this week. Have any of you played Eitri? What do you think?
Yes.
You still haven't played him.
Against him plenty. I mean, like, I got him, but like, what? I wasn't really in a hurry to.
Yeah, that was me last week.
He seems like a nice guy.
I haven't gotten to do Thor's stuff with him yet, which is what I really wanted to do and planned to do. But like I said, I was stuck in Diner Hell, so like I didn't get to try everything. Where I played him was in a Loki deck, not Arasham, just like steal all your cards and play him for cheaper deck. And that was fun. Honestly, he's probably the cut in it though. But it's what got me to play that deck, and it was so fun. Oh my gosh!
Oh, I've heard people say that Loki is the best version of Eitri. It's the best use of Eitri.
Yeah, okay, probably it was just the version of the Loki list I was playing.
Maybe. Or maybe Eitri's just bad.
I was, but he breathed life into Loki outside of Irisham, even if I wanted to come. But this was like this deck was like so fun. My friend Ruka came up with it. It's called Low Key, but like spelled out Lowkey. Anyway, and it's Quinjet, Snowguard, Loki, Mirage, Collector, Cable, Valentina, Red Guardian, Nick Fury, Devil Dino, Mockingbird, and then King Eitri, who he put in when he got for Baron Zemo, and he's like, I don't know, I still like Baron Zemo better. And honestly, it's like when this deck was going, it was so fun. I I Loki'd. There was like one round where like we got the one extra energy, like Tinker's Workshop or whatever, and I got to Loki on turn 1, and then I pulled their like negative, like which then I got to play on like turn 2, so all their cards I just Loki'd into my deck. I negative, and they hadn't even pulled a Ravona or Psylocke, and
Jeez.
they were like so disgusted. They retreated. I was like, ah!
Yeah. You retreat.
Like,
yeah.
Anyway, so, and it's like, right, Valentina's just a good time. It's like old school Collector, where like snow guarding like is fun and stuff. And Red Guardian is just like champ everywhere he is. Just everywhere, anywhere,
Absolutely.
just pulling his weight. And Mirage,
true.
it's just like all these cards that are fun, and Devil Dino. You know, like
Bringing the
just,
Dino
like,
back.
We never play anymore, right? And that's what was fun about Nick Fury. Anyway, so
What?
that's
is there anything other than Loki that puts a card into your deck that didn't start there? Or is that the only thing that Eitri is drawing for?
I mean, Thanos, right? Eitri can draw.
Oh, is that
No,
is that
no,
in the deck?
in this deck, in Loki.
I wasn't. Maybe.
Oh,
maybe I missed something. Or is King
in
Eitri
this specific
only
deck.
pulling Loki cards?
Correct, which is why like Baron Zemo was the better call. I built my own Loki Eitri deck, which was like maybe had slightly more reasons to play him, but like I haven't even tried it yet.
That's the hard part about Eitri, right? If he only has one card to combo with, it's not worth it. And in my experience using him in Thor's, like the Den deck that sold me on Gore, he ended up cutting Eitri because he was like, you kind of just need Jane anyway.
Yeah, you might as well play Jane.
Well, yeah, but he helps you get your hammers, which is another on reveal.
That's true.
So it did have Jane, and anyway, he was just like, you want Jane anyway. If you only have Eitri and not Jane, like if you only have one Thor and you only have Eitri, I don't know. I thought Eitri was fine. It is fun to play Thor and then immediately on the exact same turn get Mjolnir back into your hand. That
is cool.
I think maybe you need it to be a Lockjaw deck so that Eitri and Jane both have purpose.
Ooh.
You know, to pull the hammer twice.
Yeah.
But that's like, if Eitri's only good when you have like 2 or 3 ways to use him, that's how many combo cards are, right? But I don't know. He just doesn't have the stats to back it up. Like,
I think
all the decks being built for him went to cut him first, which is never a good sign.
Yeah, exactly.
Fundamentally a good card, and his moment will come eventually. Because, like,
okay,
no, but like the thing that he does is a desirable thing. Drawing a card is good, especially targeted, and like,
yeah,
like he's good at his job. So eventually, that'll be important. That's what I think.
I think you're right. And one cost is so cheap. And look at what just happened with Agony. Value way up on Agony from an Agony release. Yep. Based on other cards being released, you know? So I can see
Are you talking about Penny Parker for Agony?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also Galacta. Like, I've been playing so much Agony.
All right.
So it sounds so like weird to say, but their name. But we'll talk about it later, so I won't bring it up now. But I think
we're on to Galacta. Season pass card, Galacta. We didn't even say King Eitri's ability. Whatever, who cares? Galacta 4/6. We talked around it for forever. He's a 1/2. Activate. Okay, Galacta, a 4/6. Each turn, the first card you play at another location reveals with +3 power. I want to say we confirmed that it's only one location per turn, which is good.
Good.
And the sneaky, tricky thing that I've loved doing with her, it's just like it says in her text. It's the first card you play at another location. So if the first card you play is at her location, she ignores it and is still usable. So you forge on the Galacta location and then brood off her location, and you get very, very big brood. And brood is your last played card for Absorbing Man. Anyway, I got her. I've had a blast with her.
I know.
But also she's busted. Who could have seen that
I
coming?
know. She's got to
Way
go
too
in like
good.
every deck now. Like, it's bad.
Yep. If you're not playing Galacta, you're doing it wrong. And that's healthy game design.
Mm-hmm.
She's too good in
Easy
everything.
peasy. Yeah.
She makes
I'm not
everything
surprised, but I am disappointed.
Exactly.
And, like, this is the kind of card that like could be my kind of card, right? Like,
oh yeah,
I probably would enjoy playing some fair version of this card. You know, that would be fun if it weren't like game warpingly overpowered. I don't know. Like, the game feels smaller than it did on Monday. That's not a good thing. I really don't like this card. Not even a little bit. And I know it's not my fault, but you know, like, there is this human tendency to be like, well, surely if I had done something different, I could have averted this larger catastrophe. And like, so that irrational part of my thinking is like, this is my fault for having too much fun with Gwenpool. They're like, this is like, they caught me having fun with Gwenpool, and they're like, oh well, now you got to smoke the whole fucking carton.
You need
And,
more
like,
of that.
Yeah,
Gwenpool's so
and,
fun.
like,
She's
this
way
is
more
like
fair, though.
my friend baked a cake, and they let me try some, and they asked me what I thought, and I said, oh, it's really good, but it is very sweet. Definitely don't make one that's any sweeter than this. And then they come back next week and they're like, look, I poured a shit ton of sugar into a cake pan. Gobble up, motherfucker. And like, Galacta is just, there's no reason not to play this card ever. If Galacta isn't in your deck, like, I guess good. It's so stupid. This is a bad card. It's bad for the game. It was obvious. Like, there's nothing about this that was unforeseeable. Like,
Yes, that's the part that kills
they
me.
knew exactly what they were doing. They're like, "Oh, you dumb idiots! You like stats. Have more stats. You want stats? Should they be fair? I know you don't care about that. Have all the stats, little dum dums." It's condescending and annoying, and just like, get out of here with this card. Oh, what are we gonna do next? Is Shadow King 2-4 this month? Is that the solution? Honestly, do better.
Okay, like, yes, you're totally right, and I'm gonna get so annoyed in a couple days when she's been around for more than a day. But like, I've kind of been simping for her for the last 24 hours, to be honest. Like, you know what's been racking lately? Okoye, Nakia, like, that's my jam. Like, I've always been playing these buff decks before they were like any good, just because I thought they were fun. And this is bringing it all in. I have
Does Nakia feel worthwhile next to Galacta in the same 12 cards?
How very dare you insult Nakia in such a way? She's always been great.
Are you really getting a lot of mileage out of that +1 power?
Oh, come on. And then you Grandmaster her? Like, because you have just 2 energy for whatever reason. Like, you just, and then your Shah is like, I've played the biggest Shahs.
I have been making giant Shahs. Like, I've hit 20 plus power multiple times. It's stupid. Okay.
But as I mentioned last week, a big Shah is like the saddest thing you can do with Galacta.
Yeah. Like, there have been times I've dropped the 3/9 Shah and been like, yeah, Ben was right.
Doesn't it feel like a waste of time?
I have been playing, I want to talk about what I've been playing, because I've been playing this super fun deck that I'm going to come back to, that, like, I played and it was already winning for me and stuff, but then I got lured by, am I pronouncing it right if I say Ika? Ika? You say Ika?
Yeah,
okay.
I think Ika is
I think it's Ika.
Their hand buff deck, right? I just saw that randomly in a Discord or something, and I saw Koya and Nakia in there, Grandmaster and Gwenpool and Captain Marvel, and it's like, hells yeah. Usually I don't like to play a deck that doesn't run tech, that's just all about getting power, but I really liked all these cards. We'll link it. People have probably seen it around, and this is what I finished Diner with, to be honest. Like, it was just crushed, because people weren't yet like aware of how OP Galacta was if you just put her in with all the power cards. Like,
who are these
the size of these Scarlet Spiders, right? Like, well, I mean, remember too, it's just, it's like people are just, it's not in their mental space yet in the first 24 hours of a super OP card to be like, are you really expecting me to be able to put out like, a 417 Scarlet Spider, that's gonna go 2 lanes, and like my giant Shaw, and like a Captain Marvel that's gonna be like 11 power and fly somewhere. Like, people just don't have that in their brain calculus. So like, boom, Diner, finished with this. Then I went to ladder with it, and then people had wised up. It had been later enough. This was earlier today. Everyone was playing Fenris Wolf, like Shang, you know what I mean? Shadow King, like all, and Moon Knight, you know what I mean? So it's like, like.
Can I tell you my theory about that?
Yeah.
That's what Auto Galactic turned out to be for me.
It was discard,
Wolf?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
I put in Galacta. I was like, what's the auto deck I'll get? And that was Yondu, Fenris Wolf, Swarm, Gambit, Moon Knight, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Gladiator, Shang-Chi, Galacta, Proxima Midnight, Black Bolt, Stature. And I did play some of that for science. Pretty good.
Oh, really? I didn't even see a lot of Galacta.
I built a Galacta deck,
decks.
but it had Scarlet Spider in it. Well, that's the thing. A deck doesn't need to be a Galacta deck. Every deck is Galacta deck.
Yeah.
You're right. Everyone benefits. I'm just saying, I was just surprised because I thought they were playing it as a counter to Galacta. But they are. It's the Galacta countering Galacta is what it is. But so I switched back to my friend Creepy Doors deck, which I have titled Galactic Kitty, because I'm picturing like Neko Cat, the little like Pop-Tart cat with the rainbow, like flying through space. That's what I want for Kitty Pryde. She's like just in a rainbow flag, just like in her space pirate phase. I know that's not how her space pirate phase went, but it's my dream for Kitty Pryde. Okay. Anyway, so this deck, though, it was so fun because it was so unexpected. I did lose embarrassingly to our friend Phil Woodward, where I did get convinced to switch from Scroll to Cosmo in the deck because I got Red Guardianed on my Iron Man. But what's beautiful about this deck is just storing all your power in Kitty, right? So guess what can't be discarded by a Moon Knight? Not a Kitty. Guess what can't be shanged? Not a 1 fucking 18 Kitty Pryde. You know what I mean? They made ridiculous. And
what about all the Black Bolt out there? Continue.
So. Because, you're playing her out, right? She's not sitting in your hand.
Oh,
I
see.
That's true. If you play her every turn, you will dodge Black Bolt.
The Black Bolt's got the agony I haven't done it too. Or the Athena that didn't work out, that I got too late. It's like, Black Bolt. Anyway, you can't take my Kitty Pryde. Anyway, yes. So it's really great to store because you're dodging all these counters to it, and you have the option of what lane you need to put that power in, right? So here's the rest. Because you know what appears great in a Galacta deck? Because at this point, your Kitty Pryde is just ridiculously large. She's just going to win you like a lane by herself. So it's like, well, what do I want to hit Galacta with in that final turn? What about an Iron Man, right? Oh man, I had an Iron Man at 532 soloing a Jotunheim. Okay, sorry. This is how I have fun.
Wait,
all right.
532.
Well, he was a 516 that got doubled to 32.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out what 532 meant. I follow now.
Okay. Yeah. So, right? Like Iron Man soloing his own lane. Anyway, I was facing a bot then.
I think there was some Gwenpool and maybe some other nonsense involved.
I think some locations. I honestly don't.
Okay,
all right. That sounds like some Comertage, Gwenpool stuff or something.
Because this deck is so nuts, which is why it's unexpected, all right? Because it's a lot of fun cards that aren't like the best cards, but are just fun to play. Kind of like the Loki deck, right? So it's Kitty Pryde, Agony, just like in the other deck, she's so valuable in this because later on I have a Frigga, right? And like Agonying a Frigga in this kind of deck with like Angela and Elsa and stuff, pretty good, I ended up doing that a lot because she combines with a lot of other stuff. And okay, it's got Athena, it's got Angela, Agent Venom. Cosmo, Elsa, Red Guardian, because Red Guardian's just really good. Hope Summers, because it's the Kitty Pryde deck, and like, yeah. And Galacta and an Iron Man. So like, right, Kitty Pryde Iron Man, that was a pretty fun last turn in a lot of places, right? Because that's the problem with Iron Man. If you put them out early, right, they can Red Guardian them or Enchantress them or whatever. Now we have the Cosmo to help with that. But this was just a ton of fun, and it was like really unexpected to a lot of people. And it's like, I actually had fun playing friggin' stuff. And now Creepy Door has moved on and has experimented with removing Agent Venom and Cosmo for Sage and forgetting the other one, but to make more Frigga targets. So it's like probably the deck could be explored a little bit more, but like it was like all these against the auto Galacta. I was just destroying them. Like they're not getting rid of my Iron Man with their Moon Knight. They're not shanging me. Like I'm good stuff.
Good.
May
I was like really enthused.
While we're showing and telling, I built a Galacta deck or two.
Okay.
Actually, I think I'm just gonna talk about the second one because it's just another iteration on the first anyway. So I was obviously gonna do some Surfer stuff. So what I went with was a Zabu Surfer. This Surfer has more 4s in it than 3s, which is a new one for me. But there are just so many good 4-drops right now in the Surfer, neighborhood. I went with Zabu, Hydra Bob, Grandmaster, Brood, Silver Surfer, Hope Summers, Sebastian Shaw, Absorbing Man, Scarlet Spider. I am loving all the Scarlet Spider that's around because I told people this card is like sort of inherently good, and it is. And now there's a card that just, allows it to shine. Although I do wish it were shining under different circumstances with different collaborators. But yeah, Scarlet Spider, very good card. Galacta, Gwenpool, and Malekith. So yeah, hopefully Zabu comes out and, if you get Galacta on 3, you probably win. That's just a good rule of thumb. Probably no matter what the other 11 cards are. So yeah, play Galacta on 3. But I'm loving Malekith. Malekith's great in Surfer and stuff, or it can be if you build it with that intention. Like you don't play like Forge in Malekith Surfer. You play like Hydra Bob and Grandmaster, because Grandmaster's a great thing to get on Malekith. Yeah,
I want to try your version. I have, as alluded to, I've been rocking a Surfer Galactus deck, Galacta, goodness, deck. And it's a very normal Surfer deck. Maybe the most interesting thing about it is it has a Koye, but it's also Zabu Surfer with Sarah. And just some of the final turns are huge, but my favorite thing is just Galacta and then Forge Brood and then Absman. And it's just stupid how much power that is, because Galacta's hitting the Brood and the Absman. I don't know why people stay in against it because it is devastating if you get that like perfect combo. You certainly don't get every time, but when you do, it's just she's just way too good. And I think I don't know if it's going to prove that Brood is the best thing to do with Galacta. I think it probably is.
Of course it is. How could it not be?
Which leads to this problem where, okay, so if they tune Galacta to Brood, then she doesn't go with anything else anymore.
I see where you're going with this, and yes.
So do they nerf Brood?
Nerf Brood? Yep.
And my assumption would be make it so that she makes Broodlings that are just 2 power instead of matching her power. I guess the alternative is Galacta could give her power after reveal. But
honestly, I like that one better.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a problem with Snap, right? Is like they come up with these cards that are strong and so they're flexible. You can use Galacta in everything nowadays, but
it's not a problem with Snap. It's a problem with releasing overpowered cards that like are like we all knew this was going to happen. Like no one here is like, I can't believe how good Galacta is. Like
right.
What do you think
But
her
then
first nerf is?
But that's what I'm saying is like her first
4/4.
her. Yeah, I think
that's the
lowering her
first nerf.
power. Mm-hmm.
And it won't be good enough. She'll still be busted.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think 4/2 plus 3 might be okay, but even then, it's still like, Brute doesn't care about that.
Yep.
That's not the Galacta lane is not the lane I'm winning. Like,
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
Especially
honestly
we're getting
usually not.
multiplicative on +3s. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so stupid to make this card like this. They don't respect us. That's what I think.
Okay, so maybe it's not a snap problem. I'm just like it's a weird. Maybe it's just a card or like a game design problem. It's like the best combo eats everything else, like ruins all the other ones because you have to tune for the best combo. So that's not OP, and then all of a sudden she doesn't go with anything else anymore. I don't know. I don't know what you do about that. It's a weird challenge, but like she's fun. She's definitely too strong, but she's fun right now where you can put her in
It does
whatever.
feel like they should have seen it, and they shouldn't be okay with just being like, yeah, we're just fine if she runs rampant for a while, and it's like...
It's 3 in a row. They've been doing so good,
Yeah.
and then we had Agent Venom, Surtur, and Galacta in a row.
Oh, and this one blows Surtur out of the water. Like, Surtur doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, I saw
Yeah.
people
Surtur is
comparing this to
nothing.
like this is release Elsa, release Ms. Marvel. This is that
Yep.
that
Yeah.
level of power
This is just...
where it's
I
just
don't know.
clearly the
It's-
best thing to be doing.
Like,
Yep.
it's like White Widow, how, like, you should probably have been playing White Widow when White Widow was good, right? Like, there aren't a ton of reasons that you shouldn't have been playing White Widow. But, like,
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
Right, the only time you don't play the super good, generically good card is if you're going for something that is super, like, combo heavy or, like, high synergy. That's the
Yeah,
only time where you can trade off something that's this generically good.
As far as I can tell, the only time you shouldn't be playing Galacta is if you're playing Cerebro, and you just shouldn't be playing Cerebro right now because Galacta's around eating your lunch. So, like...
you know someone's out there playing a Cerebro 6. Oh, wait,
yes,
you can't, 'cause
exactly.
she bonuses.
Nope, you
It'd
can't.
have to be like
You'd
a
have
9.
to be doing, like,
or...
9,
You
yeah.
can have her,
something.
you can have her. You could play 3s off of the Galacta lane and
Mhm.
6s on the Galacta lane.
Yeah, that'd be... I'm sure that would work sometimes.
Wait, you could bast. You could bast your Cerebro and Mystique, and then when you play them off the lane, they're 6 power.
I don't know this. I can't get into best. Just not that into it. Anyway, yeah.
I mean,
Bast is
now
going to
it's
go
gonna be
1-3
really
one
hard to
day,
get
and then
into
she'll be
Bast.
awesome.
Like, I don't know. Yeah,
telling
Bast
you,
should
that-
be a 1-3.
Yeah.
Or a
should be
1-2.
rad.
I don't know. Not a 1-1. 1-1 is really... That's a real choice of a stat line. I don't know.
Luna Snow, a 3/5. This week's spotlight card. On reveal, add an ice cube to each side of this location. The ice cube is 1/0. It's not in the show notes. I think it's a 1/0. At the start of each turn, get +1 energy. Then destroy this if your side is full here. Did either of you get Luna Snow?
Oh, yeah. I spent 4 keys, got Luna Snow. She's a very good card. We'd be talking a lot more about her if Galacta weren't here actively, like, shrinking the game.
Yeah.
I did my final ratings on Twitter this week and Blue Sky, and I had Luna. I think I had her at 5 out of 7 cards, but I was like, but the top 5 are all good cards. Like these all could be number 1 in a different season. So yeah.
I got her on
she's
a win
real
last
good.
night. I wasn't sure if I was going to pick her up, and then I couldn't sleep last night, and I was like, let me do it. It was 3 keys.
Also,
go
that
ahead.
ice cube that isn't a cube, it's great for, I guess both cards are kind of like White Widow today. I don't know.
Yeah,
They both have White Widow
in different ways.
elements for different reasons, yeah.
Well, we talked about that a little bit last week, and I think it's proven to be very interesting that she destroys the ice cube at the start of the turn. And so that is something that's like, you have to be careful with it. You have to pay attention to it. Or you can work around it. Like, you can throw her into a Dazzler type deck and just make sure you fill the location on 6, and the ice will survive. I've only played with her a little bit, but she's super fun. I grabbed her with tokens because, boy, the spotlights this month are weak.
I was glad I avoided the Lady Death Strike. So it's like for 3 keys spent. I guess it was the way to go. But I haven't even gotten to play her yet. Because I was playing Galacta and finishing Diner, but I have played against her some, and I was actually more than I thought I would see her a lot more in like Surfer or whatever, but it's Clog, right? And a lot of people are holding her till 5, because when I hadn't like super thought about is like, you just block off someone's like sure, it'll die on turn 6, but they can't play there. That's right. It's like after they play there, I think. Or anyway, people are using it to clog my lanes with like Titania Goblin stuff. It was annoying. But when it wasn't clogged, then I was always kind of appreciative of the extra energy from the cube. I'm going to do Marvel Boy stuff with her, to be honest.
Yeah, I haven't played against her very much.
I think we're going to see more of her once people get a little more bored of Galacta, but like, why would you play anything else right now? But I think once we see a little more creativity and like, you know, ingenuity, innovation, once the smarty pantses get to chewing on Luna Snow, I think we'll see there are some really powerful things to do with her.
Speaking of smarty pantses chewing on Luna Snow, I am playing a Safety Blade lockdown deck that uses both Galacta and Luna Snow so that you can get Professor X out early. Playing Jeff with the +3 power from Galacta is pretty cool inside of Professor X. I'm happy because it's locked down. I don't know if this deck is public yet. I will ask if I can share it, and if I can, I will. But it's been very fun, and of course, I'm so happy to be playing Lockdown again.
I'm happy for you, Lauren.
That's what Luna Snow means for the meta. Luna Snow means Professor X.
I've played against that deck, though, and it's like, if you're just playing if you're playing the Ika hand buff deck, it's like your Marvel will save you. Your Captain Marvel will fly right into that lane, that giant, juicy Marvel you made.
I won
like
one today
Zabu
because
to be cheap.
I won one today because I had my own Marvel, and she was played second. So their Marvel didn't move, and then mine was like, yep. Anyway.
I had a game that was 2 3/16 Marvels winning a lane together by like way too much. It was glorious. With my inked like... Okay, anyway.
They're not smart is the problem, is they each independently calculate if they can move to win. So they don't collaborate.
Well, the second one has all the information, but that first one is really flying blind.
Mm-hmm. The first one just in my game, just needed the help from her clone. So, you know, they had it.
Good.
Anyway.
Good. Next week's Spotlight. I believe this was the card we were almost excited for. Penny Parker, a 2/3. On reveal, add Spider to your hand. When this merges, you get +1 energy next turn. Spider, a 3/3. On reveal, merge with one of your cards here. You can move that card next turn. I'm definitely getting her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about Spotlight Friends again.
Yeah, Spotlight Friends.
Gladiator and Sasquatch. Good cards.
I might get her with tokens, honestly, because I did roll a duplicate in my my rightmost Spotlight cache when I got Luna Snow. So I am sitting on a ton of tokens right now. Because, you know, that's awesome if you do a couple good Token Tuesdays a month and you open one of those like 4 things that is a duplicate, and like, boom, that's more than half of the way to a Series 5 card already. Like, that's more than a Series 4 card, just those things that I described. That's not counting the stuff you get out of like collector's caches or rewards from other things. Yeah, so I think this might be a tokens one.
This episode has been sponsored by Token Tuesdays.
I'm telling you, everybody needs to join me on this bandwagon. We could all be having more cards and more agency.
I unpinned Ajax.
Or we could have...
Oh,
we could have like 8 or 9 variants, isn't that... I don't know.
We could have a really cute new Luna Snow variant. Just saying.
Yeah, you could have 5 super
so
rare
hard.
variants. You could have the cute new Sage. You could have...
get that.
She's really
figured.
cute.
She is really cute.
I would have been disappointed if we didn't get her. Did you get the
cannot-
avatar?
No, I
Did you get-
can't. I have
Oh.
to save for the gold bundles. But I'm so devastated I'm not getting that Luna Snow variant today. I'm a little heart bouncing up and down.
But like, you know,
Okay.
she was only 300 gold less than the Token Tuesday that I bought. You know,
I do though.
if I were a
Okay,
different person, I would have bought that Sage variant. But I'm not a different
yeah.
person.
I have 6K tokens.
shows.
I
You have more
had
cards.
Ajax pinned, but I unpinned him. I was thinking Hydra Bob because that's what. He's in
Those
a
are
lot
the
of decks
two I
that's
keep
really
flipping
good.
between two.
Oh, do you guys
He's
not have Hydra Bob?
No,
I don't have
Oh, he's
Hydra
about-
Bob or Ajax.
he's way too
Hydra
good.
Bob is like, he's a very good card.
Okay,
Getting
but
nerfed
here's the
imminently.
thing.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah, but
and
he'll
here's
still
the
be
thing.
pretty good. I think
Every
he was
time
fine
I
at
don't
1-4.
have-
That's what I think.
Silver Sable or Hydra Bob, any one cost card that I don't have, I just put in Spider Ham instead, and I
put in
honestly think
Nico.
it's so good.
like
Right?
I'm
Okay.
a Nico kind of kid, personally. Spider-Man's fine, but he's
no,
so small.
you're Nico. I used to put Nico in every single deck, but it's like Spider Ham hits so much good stuff for me anymore. Even just slowing down someone's curve, even when you just hit a 2 or 3 cost card, because people are playing on reveals. People are playing like low power cards with big abilities. You hit someone's Grandmaster, they're pretty bummed about it, you know? They don't get to hit their Zabu on turn 2, you know? I don't know. Spider Ham
Maybe
brings
I
me
need-
joy, and
maybe
I
I need
know
to
you
play more
guys
Ham.
doubt him, but you're wrong. You're wrong to doubt him. He's great.
No, maybe I need to play more Ham.
That's what I'm saying. I've never regretted throwing him in for a Hydra Bob, for Silver Sable I didn't have. You know? Just saying.
Do we want to say anything else about... I know we just did this last episode. Do we want to say anything
Oh,
else about Penny Parker and
Parker.
Spider besides they seem super fun?
They seem super fun. Also, I still think they seem very powerful. I think that Agony, or not Agony, what's the symbiote that, you know, the one cost one that
Agony.
merges?
You got it.
Agony, did I have it right? All right, they all have the
Yeah,
same
I've been
name.
playing her a ton.
It's a real problem. But anywho, yeah, I gotta say, Agony's about to be like you're about to have a lot of. It's going to get crowded.
I
in the
already
Agony fan
am.
club.
She's already great in Galacta decks with
So
Scarlet Spider and stuff.
Agony to
Like-
Penny to Galacta is what we're doing, right?
Yeah, absolutely what we're doing.
Hitting Agony with Galacta is perfection because you just Agony into whatever, you know what I mean? It's like you don't care. You're like, I'll throw, you know, she just saves that little spot, and then
No,
you just
I
throw a
see-
Scarlet
I
Spider when
see.
you get there. You throw your Shaw if you don't have anything, but you know, like Agony is already so good without. You're like, next week, no, this week, Ben, this week she's great. She's in all of my Galacta decks. She's perfect. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Well, it's going to be perfect for next week.
A lot of pent-up emotions from Diner.
Yeah, I just think you're going to be able to ramp so hard and so fast. Like, obviously, Penny Parker is not the entire ramping package, but like, you know, maybe throw in a Hope, maybe throw in a Luna Snow.
Pretty good to just reliably have ramp on turn 3. Which I know you can do with Psylocke, but Psylocke isn't 3 power.
Psylocke is real bad. I mean, like, I like Psylocke a lot, but that's
Yeah,
a whole.
I
Like, that's
agree.
a
I
card
never play
that you have to
Psylocke.
put in your deck. All
Oh,
the
maybe
time.
she's
Because
good
it's
right now with
negative
Galacta.
decks 'cause they have to.
No,
Maybe
I think this is probably the best she's been in a long time right now.
Galacta might justify her right now.
Yep.
Okay, so
Like, I think Penny Parker will be kind of ruined because I think Galacta will still be running the meta, so everything Penny Parker is in will still be the Galacta decks. And
Yeah,
that'll be-
everything all month is going to be the Galacta deck.
I know, you're right.
So stupid.
yeah, are they gonna touch Galacta for in what 8 days, December 12th
Yes,
patch.
they'll
They
touch it
OTA.
made a
before
big deal about how
till the
they
end of the
lock in
month.
their stuff early.
No,
Um,
there's
The thing
only
is-
one.
They can't hurt her that hard. She's got plot armor. They want her to be overpowered. Got to move some season passes.
They nerfed Surtur pretty quick last season, but
Not
Yeah, I just-
significantly though.
I don't see them. Okay, so we have a patch on December 10th and an OTA on December 12th. I don't see those affecting Galacta.
I kind of agree. I think it's too late for them to be, unless they do an emergency.
You
No,
know,
they
I
could
think
do it with
they
an
might
OTA.
do an- I think they would do an OTA and they'll take her to 4-4 and no one will notice the difference.
Yeah.
I hope so. Okay. While we're talking about it, Splitsmas ends on that patch. So you have until next Tuesday to have your raised ink, gold, and crackle rates.
Yeah, I noticed. So the reason I didn't get this Lona Snow variant today that I really wanted to get is that I think there's a bundle coming tomorrow. It's a gold bundle for 4,500 gold that will give you 7,500 credits. And like a Panda Shadow King variant. And it's like, I kind of want those credits to try and get a few more like splits.
Good
So
rate,
it's
yeah.
all my
Yeah.
gold, but I think I might drop it on that bundle.
Drawn splits turn into keys, which turn into more cards. It's not a bad way to go.
All true.
Do we want to say anything else about Gladiator and Sasquatch? We said they're good.
Oh,
Gladiator, as I predicted, been seeing a lot of Gladiator because very good in conjunction with Galacta because most things are smaller than 11. Yeah. Gladiator
He was
is
good
having
before
a moment
Galacta.
right now.
He's just a
Yeah.
big three.
Fine.
Yeah.
I have to say, Gladiator, you do take a risk every time you play Gladiator because, like, what if it's Gwenpool, huh? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, there are like so
Yeah.
many
Even
cards.
if it is,
Like, what if it's Gambit? What if it's
Or
Moon
Doom.
Knight? What if it's Doom? What if it's like just so many on reveals that you don't really want to bring upon yourself just like through.
Yeah.
Although it is very flavorful that like the arrogance of Gladiator will get you into trouble.
yeah. Oh, he's such a fun card. But
Yeah.
it's a good point that it's not just the concern of is the card going to survive or not? Because, yeah, I have Gladiators give me free Zabu, and I'm like, cool. That's what I was going to do with him anyway. Like,
I didn't want to draw that
thanks.
card. Thank you.
Moving on to our side quests. First up, secret homework. Ben, it's your week for secret homework.
Yes, that's right. So I tasked us in the spirit of Marvel Rivals season, you know, cross promotion of things and stuff. I was like, well, what kind of fun tie-in could we have at say they could be found at the grocery store, like Magic the Gathering Hot Pockets, but you know, maybe a little
A
better.
natural combination.
A little more fitting. You know, I don't know. But something in that vein, you know, a product that could maybe come with a code for a variant or something like that. I really wanted to give everybody some leeway if they wanted to, you know, get a little ambitious or swerve on me in some way, you know, just some kind of tie-in product. I feel bad. I should have come up with a snappier way to describe it. Just a food item with some snap tie-in.
It was really
the
fun,
thing.
actually. I really enjoyed this one.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
I had a
good.
blast with it.
Yeah,
I'm
no, it was
very
way fun.
curious to know what you all came up with. Do I have to go first, though?
Yes,
way
that
of
is
it?
the rules.
These are the
You're
rules.
supposed to, but it's your challenge.
All right, I'll go first. I'm not very proud of mine. But I did want to. I wanted it to be good and fitting, and I'm like, what do I eat when I'm playing Snap? Because I want it to be for the snapper's lifestyle, and what I like to snack on when I'm snapping on them. You need protein. You got to have protein. It's good for you. It's good for your brain. Helps you make those good decisions, snap and retreating, all that stuff. So There's no more perfect snap snack to me than an easy, protein-packed cup of delicious Chobani Greek yogurt. Especially because for a limited time, you'll be able to unlock an exclusive Hercules variant. All right, now I picked Hercules because
Nice.
Greek god.
Greek.
Well, Heracles, really, but if I think Hercules is the Roman twist. But anyway, I might be wrong about that. Other notable Greek characters in Marvel Snap. I did some research. I mean, we got the obvious one, Elektra Nachios. Obviously, she's quite. It's well documented her Greekness. But one that's a little more surprising to me. Who else is Greek? Dr. Michael Morbius. Because sure,
Oh, really?
Morbius, the traditional Greek surname that we've all heard before. Yes, that checks out.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So if we were doing like an expanded line, like maybe Hercules is like the fancy flavor. Maybe that's the Walmart one, like the Black Manna Hot Pocket that was only available at Walmart. Maybe Hercules is the extra desirable one because Hercules is
because everybody desires Hercules
now. Yeah, sure. I don't know. Well, the thing is, again, with gifts, it should not be something that you would like. It should be something that everyone else would like. And this is a gift to everyone else from me. So, of course, I went with one of the Forbidden Move cards. The 3 Forbidden Move cards are Human Torch, Hercules, and Vision, and they're the ones I don't play. But anywho, if you wanted to play Hercules, you could have a fun variant of him chowing down on some Chobani. Also, while I'm here, I'm going to give you my secret recipe for key lime pie in a cup. You get some key lime Greek yogurt, and then you supplement it with some sort of a graham cracker flavored cereal, like this generic Golden Grams knockoff from local grocery chain Hy-Vee in the Midwest. Honey Graham Crunch. This is all right. I really prefer the Aldi one that I can't think of the name of right now, even though I did look it up. I forgot to type it into my notes. But yeah, if you put some delicious Golden Grams or similar cereal into your key lime Greek yogurt, it tastes like key lime pie. It's very yummy, and you're guaranteed to win 10% more cubes while you're eating it.
Nice.
Not really.
That's good.
While you're talking about Hercules, sorry, because this would be perfect with your promotion. He was in the Thor comics recently. They came to him for, some more like family drama stuff. But like, he's like, for some reason, he's like lifeguard. He looks like he's lifeguarding on a beach. He's like, they're on a beach and he's just in a Hawaiian shirt and sunglasses and stuff. So to blend in like Thor and stuff, he's like, they're just dressed like casual beach bums, but they're all talking in like as Guardian High speech. So it's a very like Romeo and Juliet, like Leonardo DiCaprio movie effect, and it's like so hilarious. I was like enjoying this so much.
That's beautiful.
And it's like so like beach shirt Hercules would be, I feel like, be the perfect key lime companion to your yogurt.
Yum yum yum. I like Hercules all right. His style is very cool.
You don't even like the card that much.
No, but like the character's fun. I've seen some good art of him. He usually looks like he's having a good time. He seems to have a good spirit about him. I don't know. I'm rooting for Hercules and for other people's enjoyment of the card and this hypothetical variant. I'm more curious though about what y'all have. I feel like I didn't have very much interesting to say, but I bet
you made me
you
so
two
hungry.
brought
Mine might be too long, but here it is. Ree is selling next week's homework, or assigning next week's homework, so it's on me now.
I'll sell it to you.
I wrote a press release. Atlanteans rejoice. Ooh. Goldfish is announcing a team-up with Marvel Snap to deliver the ultimate underwater crossover. Goldfish crackers are now available in 4 super tasty new flavors that'll make you snap to attention. Namor's Bounty... there are too many puns here. Namor's Bounty captures the delicious flavor of roasted fish, a perfect match for the iconic goldfish shape. It's so tasty it can stand alone. You might even say it's tastier by itself. You'll be hooked from your first bite to your last.
Wait, it tastes like roasted fish? Okay, sorry. No, keep going.
Okay, yes.
I'll hold questions for the end.
It's not a very common thing in America, but in Japan you can get roasted fish flavored chips.
I apologize for my ignorance.
But also I'm being silly, so Speaking of ongoing flavor, everybody's favorite 616 is featured on Orca's Killer Cheddar. Just like its namesake, this flavor is super strong. And of course, this flavor uses the Megabytes crackers that are 50% larger than normal goldfish. That's a real thing. For the super durable, Atuma's Flamin' Hot Goldfish provides some kick. It's a flavor that'll destroy any tongue weaker than it. Salty as the sea, then delightfully sweet, Nomura's salted caramel reveals 2 waves of irresistible flavor. The snack that smiles back has never been so mouthwatering. You'll want to try them all. Or maybe we should have said the snap that smiles back. These goldfish help you earn awesome virtual goodies for Marvel Snap. Inside each pack, you'll find a code that can be entered online to earn Atlantean emblems. This special virtual currency can be exchanged for sea stamps.
No.
Save up enough of those to take your chance at opening an oceanic trove. Each trove contains an amazing random prize, including credits, boosters, and exclusive goldfish variants of Namor, Orca, Atuma, and Nomura. Hurry fast to collect them all. Marvel Atlantean goldfish are available for a limited time only. Make sure to catch all 4 flavors before they're gone in a snap.
I'm so hungry.
Wow, that just blew me away. I was so entertained. That was delightful, Lauren. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah. We can't follow that.
That tickled me.
It's
no
like
end.
Too much extra credit.
No, that was too good.
That's your rule, though. You ruin the curve for the rest.
that's my job.
Our dynamic. It's our dynamics. How we go. Okay.
It reminded me of Munch Squad. I had to write a press release.
Nom nom nom.
That's I thought about going for the Munch Squad theme song because I feel like it sounds like fun to do, but I was like nah. Ree, don't feel if you can't match the fire that Lauren just brought.
I did not write a press release.
Feel bad.
I still want to hear your ideas.
Okay. So mine was I was so weird. I thought mine was because I went with the ice cream Ben and Jerry's. I thought that was what everyone would do. I'm like, everyone's gonna do it because I really love ice cream. Okay, and it's like in a winter suit because it's cold and it's winter right now. So that's the perfect time for ice cream when you're already cold. And so I designed 3 different Marvel Snap themed flavors. Right. The first one is the most obvious, of course. It's Rocky Broad, and the joke. If you're unfamiliar with the Broad and rock jokes, it's like once in an interview he said he likes Subterranea, which is the location that puts like 5 racks in your deck or whatever. And
it's layered.
Isn't it 4
Yeah,
now?
everyone's made fun of him ever since. So I think you're right. It's 4. But he also is like, I would like to bluff and snap with like a handful of racks. And so that's why there's all the Broad rock jokes.
That's so good.
If you were, if you have not, I guess been around, it's good to explain these things. I keep forgetting that.
It is.
I'm really
I know,
in the weeds
for real.
with my references sometimes. Okay, so it's Rocky Broad, right? So picture yourself a rich, creamy chocolate base with candied coal, walnuts, and marshmallow rocks, as well as like chocolate feathers, because we got to put some dark hock in. Because I'm thinking like the cover of it, it's like Winter Corrigan Rock Slide, right? Throwing coals and marshmallow rocks. And dark hock's there because it's a prop, and chocolate feathers make sense. Cassandra Nova, originally I was thinking a Santa hat for her, but she's more of a Scrooge, so I was thinking she'd probably be wearing one of those like Ebenezer like nightcaps,
Yeah,
like the old 1800s.
nightcap for sure. Classic.
Yeah, right. But she's enjoying the ice cream still because it's just that good. Right. So that's flavor number 1. Flavor number 2 is sugar cookies and cream. Because it features, of course, our favorite card rogue. I mean, I guess she's not her favorite card rogue. She's a card I like. Right, and I'm picturing like a really delicious vanilla bean base, and I say bean because you know the difference in vanilla ice creams, where like some of them have those vanilla beans in it, and it's like the vanilla is just like so much better. It's so tasty. I'm so hungry. Okay. And you would have like chewy sugar because those are the best sugar cookies, or like the chewy kind, you know. So you'd have those chunks in it, and since we're doing a play, we're doing a sugar cookies and cream play on a regular cookies and cream icing. The cream would clearly be icing, blue icing, provided by icing, Right, so the cover, it would be like, you'd have Iceman swirling around on the swirls of blue icing that are in the ice cream. Magneto's like levitating some spoons somewhere. Rogue is like just being showered in like sugar snowflakes. And here's what I thought, because Gambit I didn't have representative of Gambit in the ice cream, but like we've been through some journeys together in Snap lately, so I wanted to put him in like for Rogue. So I figure, wouldn't it just be adorable if he was just grabbing some of that sugar, because he's making the sugar cookies for Rogue because he loves her. So he's just like in the kitchen with a little chef hat and apron, and he's like whipping up some sugar cookies. So that's ice cream number 2. The last ice cream is in honor of our podcast. And in the honor of the last week of Splitsmas, because it'd be Splitsmas cake batter ice cream, right? A golden cake batter ice cream that has like glimmer rainbow sprinkles and like stardust flare shimmering cake crumbles, because the ice cream would be all the like card flares.
All the flares.
And then, okay, this is probably too far, but I was like, okay, what if you had Crackle-fetti, like Kirby Crackles represented, but it's like Pop Rocks? The old candy that you put in and it like explode in your mouth? I'm like, I would try that in a cake batter ice cream. That kind of
Pop Rocks and Oreos goes hard, so I don't know if it could work in an ice cream, but I would try it.
Okay, I almost put in Oreo chunks to represent the inks. But like I thought maybe that was too. I didn't know if that would be good. The things I already put in the ice cream, but the decoration, of course, would be the Splitsmas Santa, which is Lauren. It would be like you would be the variant of which the golden background of the cake batter ice cream, would be your golden background, and it'd be like your Discord avatar. Shout out to our Discord channels, Snap Judgments League, where you're doing that, like presenting the ice cream.
Shout out to Philip J. Woodward who drew that.
Yes, I meant to mention that when I was saying this.
Indeed. Shout out to Philip J. Woodward all day long for just being a good egg.
Pretty
and also for making that wonderful art.
Friend of the pod.
Mostly for being a good egg.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So anyway, but yes, those were my 3. I honestly came up with them last night while I couldn't sleep.
I need to go get Ben and Jerry's.
And cake batter ice cream. Yes. All right. Okay, yes. And I'm assigning the next secret homework. Okay, I forgot. I'm like, what are we doing now?
Well, for the record, I might need to go get ice cream after this. Like, I'm
like so hungry now, to be honest. I listened about food for so long without eating it. What is this, food TV?
I'm not mixing Greek yogurt and goldfish and ice cream. No.
Okay, but what if it's the key lime with the salted caramel? Maybe.
Yeah, see? It could be.
Okay,
graham cracker goldfish.
Okay, so new secret homework. Now, we haven't done a deck building challenge in a while, and I didn't want to put on a full-on deck building challenge because I know we already have lots of ideas and things we want to do and try. So, you're free to align this as far back in your history as you like. But your assignment for next week is to pull out an old deck that you loved. And it can be recent if you want, just one that you haven't like tried into this meta, because I want you to feel free to like do what you want to do this week with your deck building time. And and see if you can swap out some cards and get it to work now. Because here's what I already know what I want to mess around with. We'll see if I'm going to be successful. I know I've told Lauren about this deck before. It does not work into this meta. This was one of the first. I love this deck because it was like the first really kooky. It wasn't like a surfer deck. It wasn't a meta deck. It was just a weird, kooky, stupid deck because I love Moon Knight and also Black Bolt and stuff. So I had this. It was like the first. I wrote it through the 70s and 80s of like the first month I went to Infinite, and I made myself, it's called Moonlight and Madness because it's a Sauron Moon Knight Black Bolt deck. And it has Silk. Oh, it's got so many old cards that don't work anymore. But she used to be such beautiful reach. She would beat a Jeff if you could get him a Sanctorium back when there's way fewer cards that can move, right? When it was just Nightcrawler. And there wasn't Scream decks running around willy-nilly, all of that stuff. And the idea was, like, if you would hit Sauron on your Sauron cards, and you'd have more big cards than you had energy out to play. So your Typhoid Mare, your Red Skull, whatever Moon Knight discarded, which was random back then, it was like, it'll hurt them worse. You couldn't play out all this energy anyway. Although the perfect last turn would be, like, a Typhoid Mare with, like, an Ebony Maw and a Stature. You know what I mean? Because that was a big power swing way back in the day. I'm talking like years at this point, you know? This is a really old meta deck. It really does not work anymore. You cannot play it. It's got the Ghost Rider Black Cat in it. And as we talked about in the podcast before. So it does not work anymore. And there's been so many times I've pulled it out and been like, can I update it? It's just like, no, it's still just Sauron. If you're not doing like Shuri stuff, they're not big cards anymore. Red Skull is not a big card anymore, right? Like, and but now that we have Fenris Wolf, now that there's Zabu, I'm like, maybe I can, like take some of the things maybe I can still have like a Sauron. Maybe I can find something here.
That's what committing to you're going to revitalize that one?
Well, I'm going to try. Yeah. I'm not going to say it's going to work, but that's the goal. If it doesn't happen, it's interesting to talk through deck building.
You'll still have a story. Yeah.
Right. So that's what I want you to do. So it can be really old, it can be much more recent, but like, pull on an old deck, see if you can shape it up for today. Find that card to replace White Widow. That's it. That's your secret homework.
Cool.
Lovely. Well, if you like what you heard, join us next week. There's going to be a patch, so we're going to have plenty to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Those are always good ones.
Yeah.
I mean, on our end, I don't know about the patch, but like we always have bomb shit to say about it.
Yeah. At the very least, there will be maybe another season's worth of data mines. Granted, Snap.fan already did find the names and abilities of February's cards, but maybe we'll get stats too. Anyway, do the engagement things, like, follow, comment, review, subscribe, whatever. We're on YouTube and audio places. You can find our social media stuff in the video description or audio show notes. And we're on Discord now, as referenced several times in the show. We're part of the Snap Judgments League Discord, and if you get in there and go to the welcome channel, you can choose what your what roles you have, and if you go down to the podcast network section, you can choose Snap on This. You just click the Snap on This button, you get access to our 2 channels. You can go chat with us there. It's been really fun so far, and a few of you did make it from last episode, so that's great.
Yeah, that was very nice. I've enjoyed seeing what folks have to say, and yeah, you're all great.
Or if Discord's not your speed, Absolutely. If Discord's not your speed, then you can email us, snaponthis@gmail.com. We are part of the Snap Judgments Network. That's how we're there on that Discord, where you can listen to other great shows like How Can She Snap on Sundays, and Snap Decisions on Mondays and Tuesdays, and Snap Judgments on Saturdays. So that's where
I got the hand buff deck from Ika. Snap Judgments.
Snap Judgments. Yeah, it's a great place. If you're ever super stuck on decks, that's a great place to go. Just go watch the last video or two. Always good stuff. Yeah. So join us next week, please. Same Snap time, same Snap channel. You said for the secret homework that you gave us room to be ambitious, and I was going to be like, well, I decided to be ambitious.
That would be great.
I kind of thought you were going to say amphibious, but that's fine too.
I didn't see my note until afterwards, so that's too bad. Anyway, that was fun.
You did so good. I forgot to I forgot we were supposed to come up with the snap side thing.
Oh yeah. Well, you came up with beautiful artwork. I have a Fantasia, but I could almost picture the beautiful artwork on these.
I want ice cream, so I already had ice cream. I had an ice cream bar.
I'm gonna be like, hey, while you go get the kid, can I go get ice cream for us?
I feel like
did it.
I usually have something to say during the post housekeeping stuff, and I'm like, oh no, I haven't said anything in the post housekeeping. People are gonna think I left the episode early or something, when really we always stick around to say really important stuff over the music at the end.
Ooh, no, I'm
Really
giving
important.
the secret that happens. What usually happens is Lauren's like, okay, bye. I'm like, no, wait, Lauren, you have to stop the recording. And then we all have to wait while
hang out and wait for it to
that
upload.
moment where we've all said goodbye, and now it's like, we already said goodbye.
On that note.